Back in St. Louis here tonight on this Friday night for the Atlantic 10 Friday Night Showcase. VCU in St. Louis getting ready for tip. Mike Corey, Dallin Cup. Let's talk VCU here. Who we keeping an eye on tonight for the Rams?
Their balance is what we will get to, and it's been key. But Max Shulga, as this team has gotten healthy and gotten everybody eligible, has remained the one constant through the course of the year. You do not go under screens on him, especially on ball screens. Shoot over 42% in league play. He can create up the bounce for himself and his teammates. But also, he transferred from Utah State over to VCU with Ryan Odom as he came over as his first-year head coach. His leadership and translation of what coach wants, needs, and expects on and off the floor has been huge to this team as they've had so many missing pieces get healthy, get back into the lineup. Zeb Jackson, the transfer of Michigan, his second year at VCU, didn't play in the first game against St. Louis, which obviously VCU won convincingly. Joe Bamisile, back now, two-time transfer eligible in December. They're 10-3 since getting him back. And Sean Bairstow dealt with his own injury issues. He's been solid, one of the top 5 guys in the league in assists. He's a 6'7" guy that can do things in different ways and help them operate. It is a balanced group that can hurt you in many different ways.
On the other side for St. Louis, how much fun did Sincere Parker have last week in Philadelphia?
Yeah, Mike, if I dropped 67 points in 2 games, I had a lot of fun too. The National Player of the Week, the A10 Player of the Week, and it's not just the point production, it's the efficiency. He shot 66% from the floor the first time since Larry Hughes, the legend who's in the building right now, whose son is starting number 2 in white, to do that for St. Louis, back-to-back games, 30+.
Our officials tonight, Doug Sermons, Jeb Hartness, and Chance Moore, and we're underway here in St. Louis.
And how they guard Parker will be critical as he gets the ball right now. How they guard him on ball screens, how they try to pressure him at times, double him and get the ball out of his hands.
Jimerson works it inside, and right off the bat, Bradley Ezeworo knocked out of bounds. VCU possession. Let's take a look at the VCU starting 5 here tonight.
What's up, everybody? This is Kwani. At the 1, we got Zeb Jackson from Toledo, Ohio. At the 2, we got Max Shulga from Kyiv, Ukraine. At the 3, we got Sean Bairstow from Brisbane, Australia. At the 4, you got me from Melbourne, Australia. And at the 5, we got Christian Furman from Pocono, Pennsylvania.
Here's Larry Hughes for 3. It's way off. Rebound, Zeb Jackson. Bairstow got it knocked out of his hands. Fast break. Hargrove starts it out. Gets it back from Hughes. First bucket of the night for St. Louis.
Opportunistic. This team now, St. Louis, they wanted to run early in the year. They pressed. First 4 games, they're playing well. They're pressing. They're running up and down. Injuries to Parker, as we mentioned. Other guys out of lineup. Michael Meadows, who's still out. Sion Medley. They changed the way they played, started to slow it down. They are starting to play faster again. Really, since this first VCU game about 4 weeks ago, they've started to play faster, less sets, off misses, off turnovers, obviously. You are running.
Jackson has it for VCU.
Oh,
nice move, and the stutter step. He got blocked inside by Sincere Parker, and there's 5 to shoot.
It's funny, Zeb Jackson, you could just see it right there, the change of pace. And he didn't play like I mentioned in that first game. Travis Ford told his guys, hey man, he is twitchy, and he changed speeds. You are got to be ready for it. It's quicker, one of the quickest guys in the league. You just saw it right there, and they didn't look exactly ready for it.
It'll be Shulga that puts it in play here with 5 to shoot for VCU. Bairstow gets it off and puts it in. Let's take a look at the St. Louis starting 5 here tonight.
What's up, everybody? It's Gibson Jimerson here for a nice game against VCU. At point guard, we got my boy Smooth, Larry Hughes Jr. At the 2, you got yours truly, Gibson Jimerson. At the 3, we got National Player of the Week, Sincere Parker. At the 4, we got Mr. Rockstar himself, TJ Hargrove. And at the 5, we got Big Bradley Ezeworo.
Foul on Kwani here for VCU. And Ezeworo heads to the free throw line for 2.
I like the first 2 possessions, the Billikens, both they tried to pound it inside to Ezeworo. The first time, couldn't finish. That time they got it. The rotation was late from Kwani. The backside helped, forcing him into a foul there as Ezeworo attacked the rim well. And you take a look, 2 played 1 on the ball screen on the empty side. Kwani's got to be a step over. He's got to be in the middle of that lane, and he wasn't quite there. And Ezeworo makes him pay, making both free throws.
4-2 St. Louis. Really a tale of 2 seasons like you were talking about with both of these teams now, and the way that they've had to kind of change things up mid-season. Obviously with VCU getting all their players back, and then St. Louis is saying, hey, we got to figure something out here.
Yeah, both of them dealt with injuries and issues early on. Shulga, they stepped back, and I mean, Ezeworo got the switch out there. If you're going to switch out, that's a big. Shulga recognized it, created a little bit of space, and knocked it down. But yeah, both teams have had to endure a lot. It's just VCU's talent and collective group effort has been, group togetherness has been better, and their defense is absolutely elite as they force a turnover there on Larry Hughes. Hughes had 7 turnovers in that last game against St. Joe's. They had 22 as a team. They've got to take care of the ball to win games.
He had a career-high 15 points in that last game as well, but you're absolutely right. The 7 turnovers in 31 minutes, you can't have that again. Nice block inside by Ezaworo, and here come the Billikens. Jimerson.
Don't go under the ball screen.
Fires for 3.
Can't. He's one of the best shooters in the country. He's one of the top shooters in the history of the A-10. You go under a ball screen, he is putting that up, and that's a great look.
Shulga had a good look, kicks it back out. Bairstow, that's even better. That's a 3 that's short. Shulga got it back to Bairstow, and he is fouled underneath. So Ezaworo's called for the foul.
It's interesting as Parker goes to check out right now. This is the first time Sincere Parker has started a game since he got hurt at Wyoming game back on November 16th. So your body's a little different. You're used to coming off the bench. He's coming off the bench. He scored 33 points in that game against LaSalle in 18 minutes.
Right.
So you're used to watching, assessing, getting your body to calm down and coming in and taking advantage. Here he almost looked a little winded. When I was watching him run down the last possession, he may be just a bit too geeked up. You got to kind of let the game settle into and let the adrenaline can have a negative effect sometimes.
Sure.
A little too much.
No, that's a good point. I mean, 18 minutes in that LaSalle game. He played just 27 minutes in the St. Joe's game and then beat his career high by another point at 34. Rebound, Kellen Thames, who's in now for St. Louis.
He took a shot in the face. Yeah, he's struggling.
Up.
See if he's okay. Chance Moore, the referee, blew it dead because he did see that he was struggling, but he's okay. And now with the dead ball, Joe Bamisile is going to check in, and he had an outstanding game against St. Louis first time around. 29 points, 7 of 10 from deep. He's a focus of their defensive and game plan, if you will, for the Billikens. But they need to know where he is at all points in time on the floor, deny him certain times they want to throughout the course of half-court possessions.
You're absolutely right. He blew that game open. 10 of 13 from the field overall in that 24-point win back on January 19th. We were there. Hargrove for 3. It's no good. Bamisile the rebound. So St. Louis is now 1 for 5 from the field. 3 ball. Kwani, that's in and out. Hargrove with a great box out.
I like this. Playing before VCU's elite defense gets set up. Good look. Yeah. That's a great possession. You played out of your secondary. You were aggressive. You got a layup that you missed.
Well, that's what Travis Ford said. They want to get out and transition and try to run. Unsettled situations as Kwani is fouled on his way in. Thames will pick up the ticket.
Kwani as he hits the free throw line. I love his energy. Him and Joe Bamisile have this infectious smile on this team that you can just feel it. And it's not about winning helps, winning 8 of 9, but it's their personality regardless of it. And on the possession before, Kellen Thames checked in the game. You got it to KYP, no personnel. Kwani shooting over 60% in league play from three-point line, 22 of 35. He started the season 0 of 17.
Right.
Literally, I've never seen that in my life, that type of turnaround. But it was a testament, A, to Ryan Odom saying, hey, we believe in you, keep shooting it. He had a shoulder injury in the offseason. He believed in himself. His teammates kept him up. And now he's he's the best shooter in the league in terms of percentage. But there he's getting it to the 10. That also helps. Thames has to know, run him off the line. But if you're going to do that, he's not a one-trick pony. He can't get to the rim and finish.
Well, I feel like you're starting to see the athleticism and the variety of things that these players can do as the season has gone on. It's taken some time for everybody individually, and then collectively as a group. They've now won 8 of the last 9.
Yeah. Oh, Medley better got to handle the ball.
Sion Medley, the freshman, brings it over here for St. Louis. Guarded by Jason Nelson, kicks it up to the top. Hargrove had the 3, instead takes it in and gets it rejected from behind. Bamisile got a piece of it. Here he comes. Bamisile goes baseline and converts, getting by Hughes.
And he just tapped his chest and he told Jason Nelson, I'm sorry. Because he looked Nelson off, who wanted it, was wide open for 3, but he went whirling dervish and finished at the rim.
Rams off and running here. 8-0 run. After it was 4-2 early, St. Louis. Nelson Back to Bamisile.
Need to get it moving.
Wall got it stripped from behind by Hughes.
Great hands. Hughes, 2 hands, stepped in to steal it. Jimerson.
NBA range 3. I asked him earlier with the way Parker's been playing if that makes you feel pretty good, because hopefully more defensive attention will go to him, give him a few more open looks at the basket. Even though Parker's out, he got a good look there.
Yeah, that is, in theory, how it's going to work, because there was more talk about Parker in a scout than I've ever heard with covering St. Louis's team this year. And for VCU, they know they need to focus on him, but you can't leave Jimerson either.
Can't leave that guy. And Shulga, who you just talked about.
You see Shulga just trying to stay touch tight to Jimerson.
Hargrove. Got it tipped. Ball's out of bounds. It's going to VCU when we come back.
Young man's just got to be stronger with it. You got to value that ball. Don't jump and flip it back. Flip it, turn, and deliver the ball.
Welcome back, VCU here. Their defense has been outstanding. We go back to January 8th. It's the last 9 games. They are just dominating, holding opponents under 59 points a game. The shooting only 37%, and then three-point land has been 22%. Dallins over the last 9 games. VCU defense stifling.
It's elite, and then this is where this team has grown the most. And they don't do it as Havoc in years past, and Ryan Odom's the predecessors have pressed and done different things where they've been at least top 20 in defensive turnover rate for over a decade. This team is not that. They're bottom 100 in the nation. It's not how they play. They can turn you over like they have a couple times in this game, but it's more by wearing you down and making it difficult and challenging you with the ball, challenging you in the gaps, and making it hard in the half court. They are a very good defensive team who have put themselves in this elite status over the last 9 games.
They still have an unbelievable identity as Nelson misses on the 3. Bear still got the rebound. He got fouled from behind by Thames, who doesn't like it, but he picks up his second. The thing about VCU is they still are very deep. They always run a lot of players out there. That's one thing I think that Coach Odom is still doing too. He gets a lot of different guys involved in the action. And when you're out there, you go full board, and then you're coming out and you got subs behind you.
100%. That's a guy like Michael Bell wearing 8 in black is one of those examples where the only game they lost in that stretch was at St. Bonaventure, and Coach Odom said, we got to play guys more minutes. Michael I got to play him minutes. We were tired at the end of that game. We have depth. We have talent. Got to give those guys the opportunity. Bell gave great minutes last game against Dayton. Bamisile drills the triple, and Jason Nelson gave great minutes off the bench. And yes, Bamisile is a guy off the bench as well. They have a lot of weapons that can hurt, and that hurts Travis Ford. They know they got to contest to keep a hand up on him, and that was too easy of a shot.
Right. I mean, your point there, 22, Bamisile off the bench. Yep. Seriously, right?
Yeah.
And then Bell, who's averaging about 18 minutes a game, too, so he's getting a lot of time out there. What a block by Lawal on Gibson Jimerson's drive.
Dude, Lawal has a 49.5-inch vertical, and he just showed a little bit of it there. Shout out to Terrence Oglesby, was doing a game for VCU earlier this year. He can touch the top of the backboard like Earl the Goat Manigault as Bamisile buries the 3. And Bruce Young, again, that's the second time they've had a switch out with a center on a guard, and they got exploited by being able to knock down the jump shot.
Third block for VCU. Here's Hargrove for 3 in the corner. They needed that.
They went over just that and shoot around, and that's what most coaches do. There's a guy in the corner you have to be to the level of the ball. You can't allow that ball to be whizzed behind your head. And Bamisile fell asleep right behind his head. 3 for Hargrove.
Bairstow for Nelson off the Lawal screen. The defense there by St. Louis's Medley. But then Nelson gets free, and there's going to be a foul.
No,
double dribble.
It's a great call. As Nelson was going to the 10, he basically held the ball on his hip and then put it back on the deck again. And Chance Moore was all over.
7 minutes gone by first half. VCU with a 5-point lead here.
So Parker's checked back in. 21 White being guarded by the freshman Bell. They're trying to run something for Parker right now.
Parker's got it. Off the screen, they're all over him, and he tries to look down inside. They do. They get it to Stefan Busel, the freshman from the Netherlands, and now Jimerson with a jumper is good. It's so imperative, right, for him to get off to a good start, feeling the ball, going through the hoop, just being involved in the offense.
100%. And that actually, if you're you're Ryan Odom, you'll kind of live with that. You forced him to put it on the deck and shoot a shot from about 12 feet, not necessarily his strong suit contested. You'll live with that.
2 for 4 for Jimerson, including a 3. He's got 5 points, and Bamisile stepped out of bounds on the baseline. All right, Down, you're going to be in the studio tomorrow. College basketball, you'll be there all day watching some of these great matchups and talking about them. Duke and Florida State at 2. You got Kansas at Oklahoma at 4, then Kentucky and Auburn. I know you're really tracking that game at 6 o'clock on ESPN.
Auburn in the jungle and the plains is an absolute handful, as South Carolina found out a couple days ago, lost by 40. But Kentucky's getting 9.5 points by the people out in Vegas. That is a lot of points. Honestly, I'd probably lay them with Auburn. Who's healthy for Kansas, and can they ever win a league game on the road is a question. And then Duke going on the road to Florida State, a very tough game, 3 great ones as Sam Bustle finishes inside. Excuse me.
Pelicans are right in it here. It's a 1-point game. 7-0 run that they're on, and then Jackson hands off, and the runner by Bairstow high off the window.
They've got to convert back and be ready to guard. Jackson was unguarded, able to get 2 feet in the paint. That's what created the help in the rotation, the drop off to Bairstow.
Medley. Hargrove, one-on-one against Kwani. The hook is no good. Jackson spots up for 3. There's Jimerson. He got his pocket picked by Kwani. Medley comes back. Kwani, it's off the iron. They're going to call it a goaltend. Interference. 2 points for VCU.
Yeah, the grab of the net there, and Kwani showing his length. This is one of the tallest teams in the country. VCU is, and their length and their height can be effective, to say the least. There's Jackson, unguarded, gets 2 feet in the paint, drops it up to Bairstow. Good finish, a little bit of English, a little bit of contact. Nice job.
Here we have a 5-point game. VCU 19, St. Louis 14. Coach Ryan Odom played at Hampton Sydney for Tony Shaver, right outside the area in Virginia. Is back now coaching the Rams, and I think you and I have talked to him a bunch so far this season. And it's just picking up some speed here, right? The way this team has been moving along here, winners of 8 of the last 9.
They've found their groove, and partially you need your players. Sean Bairstow had foot surgery in the offseason. He missed part of the beginning of the season. Joe Bamisile was a 2-time transfer, became eligible mid-December. And then from there, you sort of have role definition, building out confidence, making sure everybody knows how to play together. That's a tough shot by Parker.
Wow.
That thing drew rain. But as they build through these things, they know their identities on the defensive end. They have balance. They understand where guys' strengths are. And they're really coming to their own right now at the right times when you want to play your best basketball.
First shot put up by Parker, and he drains it for 3. Zeb Jackson the other way, almost a travel. Here's Shulga. Back to Zeb. That's a wide open 3. That's long, and Bairstow's got the offensive rebound.
He likes it there. He can post up 6'7", a big wing player that likes to play off the bounce in the post.
Parker got it, knocked it away, and it's into the hands of Medley.
Good D by Parker. Gave no ground.
5 turnovers early here for VCU. Medley bounces it inside as a whirl, and he is fouled, yes, by Furman.
Sincere Parker, obviously coming off 34 and 33 in his 2 games last week. That is about as good as contested you can get from Zeb Jackson, just a better shot. He was a first-team All-American in junior college last year. They knew he'd be able to score, but he goes through a broken foot issue. Back on November 16th, he gets hurt in the Wyoming game. Misses time. This is his first start since then. He's been back in the lineup for about 12 games now. But he's starting to hit his groove as an absolute star scorer. But they also need to guard on the other end. That's where this team can get wins. You have to defend, and they have to take care of the ball. And both have been issues in recent weeks.
I mean, I know the fans are disappointed, and rightfully so, right? I mean, I understand that. But, the way we're talking about it here, Dallin, and you got to give them what's called the reality, right? When you don't have your players and there was 4 freshmen playing in the last game, at St. Joe's. They almost and probably should have won that game. Parker's 34. They lost by 1. Shulga for 3, no good.
That's not their brand of basketball. Get that going. Like, to get that thing moving, get it to a second, third side. Max can make that shot. He just doesn't even take that shot.
Parker does it again. Timeout VCU. St. Louis started 2 for 10, and they're 5 for their last 6, and they've got a 3-point lead. Sincere Parker, 67 points last week. He's got 6 already on 2 threes. Parker continuing to feel it, Dallin, from last week here to tonight.
And it doesn't take much time for him to heat up. You saw he makes back-to-back threes. One crazily contested, gets him going. The next one was a good step-in 3 in transition and drills it. And he did something last week that nobody has done in the St. Louis uniform since 1998, scoring back-to-back games of 30-plus. Larry Hughes, the first, his son, of course, starting the team now, was the last to do that. Played 14 seasons in the league, averaged over 14 points a game. One of his interesting claim to fames, though, is he's played with both MJ, when he was on the Wizard, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James. He's one of 4 guys to do that, along with Scott Williams, Brendan Hayward, and Jerry Stackhouse. So Parker in rarefied air in a Billikens uniform right now.
That's pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
6 points, 2 for 2 already from 3-point range here tonight. And Jimerson's already hit a couple, so that's good news for St. Louis. Shulga, and there's a foul on the floor, says Doug Sermons, and it's on Larry Hughes Jr. Double figures in 4 of the last 5 for Larry Hughes Jr.
Jeez.
Right inside, Bell, yes, and the foul.
This is the type of stuff that drives Travis Ford crazy, because every team goes over baseline out of bounds, and we did it all. We watched him do it all in shoot-around, and Coach says, we've given you everything you guys know. You got to communicate. This is the first part of the action. It's a simple up screen to Michael Pell, and they didn't communicate it. Ran right into the screen. There's no help, no ball pressure. It was just an easy layup. That literally cannot happen.
You can't get it off option 1.
Exactly.
Right?
Which is really, it's like, hey, we're going to do this. It's always going to be taken away. We're trying to get to this.
Right.
But you want to make them react to it, to guard that, to get to something else. Rarely ever is that open.
VCU is probably like, okay,
Yeah, we'll take it.
We'll take our first option on this, and it's Bell, and he ties the game at 22. Parker, oh, wow. Yeah, offensive foul. Bell hits the deck hard.
Well, Ezewaro is like running into a brick wall, so that's part of the problem. Is he set that screen, he slid into it, and just crushed Bell.
That's already 2 on Ezewaro.
That's a problem. Like, remember, that's happened in the first outing between these 2 teams too. They were trying to play through him, and again, things you can't do. Like, they're winning plays and plays where when you're at the bottom of the standings, and that's not about coaching. That's about you listening and executing. They talked about that in shoot-around too, about making sure you're still on certain screens throughout their offense, and he leaned right into that. You didn't need to do it, but now 2 fouls. They can't use him in the interior.
See, that's the point, Dal, that you make, and it's the residual, right? It's what kind of happens after that, right? I mean, it's a foul, say, okay, on Ezewaro, moving screen, fine, but now he's got to go out of the game, and it changes the whole makeup.
And in this one, Zhang's getting called for contact up in the wall's face. I mean, the wall really did sell that. That's tough, but
that is now 17 fouls on St. Louis. Only 3 on VCU. Bell. Not there. Oh, the offensive rebound almost by Bairstow. Now we got a whistle and a foul.
Travis Ford wants his guys to rebound better, and that was, you've got to attack the ball in terms of defensive rebounding. You've got to go up and go after the thing with 2 hands. And this is a VCU team that doesn't particularly, offensive rebound that well. I mean, they only get 23.6% of their misses. That's right. 14 out of the 15 teams in A-10 play.
Well, we talked to Coach Ford about it. He knows, like, Sincere Parker can put up points, right? I mean, he said he really wasn't surprised. Now, he said, hell, he's going to get 30? No, but surprised that he can get baskets. Same with Jimerson. It's really been about the defense that he's been disappointed in that needs to be better for this team.
Yeah, they're 15th in league play in terms of defensive efficiency.
Parker pulls up, hits again. He's 3 for 3 with 8 points.
He just gave a little MJ, a little shrug, the shrug in the hands, only at 8 points. Buddy, you went for 67 the last 2 games. You can keep doing more.
Come on over to our side. It's got to be directed at us, right, on the broadcast crew. Bairstow. Almost a travel inside and gets the bucket.
Bairstow's bleeding. He's telling Chance Moore, I'm bleeding right now. Well, they're not going to stop play for it. It's on his hand.
Yep, still no signal. Here's Medley, gives it to Parker.
Good job by the wall.
Yeah.
They've talked about that in shoot around 2. They run 2 at him, make him pick up his dribble, and then get back. It's not a full double team, but they want to get back once he picks it up.
Did it again. They get it over to Hargrove for 3. It's no good. Yeah, good defensive execution there for VCU.
Parker made the right read, though. When the double was there, they rotated over. He skipped it over. They got a good look for Hargrove.
7 points for Bairstow, leads the way for VCU. Ball got knocked out of bounds. And we've got another timeout. We'll be right back. Tied at 24 here tonight. Tied at 24 here in St. Louis on this Friday night. The Rams and the Billikens, 6:31 to go in the first half. When you see teams record in numbers with the quad 1 games, this is what it means when you beat a team at home who has a net between 1 through 30, you get a quad 1 win. If you beat them in a neutral site 1 through 50, or when you beat an opponent on the road who has a net between 1 and 75, you get a quad 1 win. So when you see VCU's resume here, you look at the record, you look at quad 1 wins, all being calculated and a big factor of determining tournament teams, part of their overall net ranking.
Yeah, and your net ranking is the NCAA's evaluation metric they use to kind of rank teams. So you see quad 1 and 2 is good. They're 5-5. They beat Dayton last week at home. They have Dayton coming up. We'll be there in a couple weeks. But conversely, quad 3 and quad 4 losses really can hurt you. And that's why we talked about the top of the show how important this game is. Currently where St. Louis is Bamisile's short shots going to be way short. It's going to be, they're quad 3. They're 225 in the net ranking. That's why this is kind of like a must win. If you're trying to build out a tournament resume, you're also trying to be in the top 4 of the A10, maybe even win the A10. So there's tons at stake right now for the VCU Rams, and it's really hard to win on the road. So it puts them in a tough situation to say it's kind of a must-win game when you look at their at-large resume, but they're playing away from home.
Yep. And it's vastly important what you do in the non-conference, obviously, to build up that ranking so that come conference time, you know, that doesn't move as much. It could, depending, but you got to build up the goodwill early on. Nice rebound here for Lawal, and he scores it.
They've got to clean up their glass, man. That is the 8th offensive rebound for VCU, and you can't give a team that good more opportunities to score. Just one more point on the quad situation, though, and the VCU's resume. What they will look at the tournament. Good job by Bairstow to step up. He was a step late. He was there. I wish he would have just put your arm right in the path of the ball. He would have had a deflection. There's an element to these guys being healthy and hurt. Bairstow and Bamisile, 2 of the guys you're seeing on your screen right now, weren't available for the majority of the November and December. The committee will look at that and say, what has this team been when fully whole, and what is this team when they weren't? And when they weren't, they had some losses that weren't the best losses, and they also lost to teams like Iowa State that would look like gold right now. I think Iowa State could get in the Final Four. Like, that's the way they're playing right now. And they're a team that would be a huge win if they had that, but they were up, double digits, and they fell apart at the end, and Iowa State won that game. But your resume is evaluated by who's on the floor, too.
Parker. He's fouled, and he's going to go to the line. Nelson got him on the arm. That's Nelson's first. Yeah, I always thought that was a big part of it, right? Of who you had, when you had them, who you beat, when you beat them. I mean, some of that stuff that was really important, I feel like, is now kind of dropped down a couple notches. Like, I don't like the fact that you need to beat so-and-so by 40 points, or if you don't get as much credit. That's ridiculous. Well, a win is a win, right?
Yeah, I do think there's a bit of a misnomer there by the fact that, scoring margin is factored in. We don't know the ingredients to what's in net. Right. We don't know the recipe, how each thing is weighted. We should know that, we being the public. So I would appreciate the NCAA let that information out. But secondly, if you win, scoring margin matters, but it's your efficiency by which and what you play. If you play a team that's not very good and you skate by and win by 2 and you're inefficient, that doesn't really help you. If you play a team that was really good and you were efficient and you skate by 1 and win, that does help you. So your efficiency does matter in terms of how you play.
Zeb Jackson works it in for VCU, kicks it, Bamisile wide open for 3. He got it.
Zeb doing a great job of getting 2 feet in the paint and making decisions.
VCU back up 3. 5 minutes to go, first half from St. Louis on this Friday night. There's Jimerson, heavily guarded by Bairstow. Parker Three again. Boy, I'd love to beat him right now. He's been money. Double figures in 8 of his last 9 games as well. And he's feeling it once again with 13. It's a game high.
I'm shaking my head because Bamisile knows better. He went under the screen, the down screen. As soon as you do that and break contact, he's going to bump back, have space, and bury a 3. And Bamisile knows that as a shooter. If they do that to you, you're happy and you're going to make it.
Parker, does that go off Bairstow? It does. And he's doing everything so far here tonight.
When you're coming off a shooter, when a shooter's coming off a down screen, you got to stay to their body. Look at Bamisile, 22, goes underneath that screen. Bamisile kind of readjusts his angle, bumps back, wide open, buckets. You cannot do that. You've got to stay on his body. You got to ride him off the screen, ideally. He's too good.
Yeah, I mean,
Can't.
That's just personally his situation there. How much of it, though, is now having to give a ton of credit to Parker and Jimerson out there for opposing defenses?
I mean, some, but that's a defensive mistake and a really good player.
Okay.
That's just on Bamisile. Like, as soon as they passed that ball, I shook my head already. Like, you can't. That's good as gold. But there's just, you can't do that, and Bamisile knows better than that.
Jimerson. Bamisile's on him this time. Jackson now covering Parker.
They got this smaller lineup now. Hargrove playing the 5 position, kind of like a 5-out. Whoa.
Wow. They switch out and they double team him, and he still drains it.
Yeah, that they didn't do anything wrong. Again, tough shot takers and tough shot makers. He is the latter.
Parker is 5 for 5, 3 for 3 from downtown. 3-pointer on the way. That's no good from Shulga. And here come the Billikens with Medley. They lead by 2. Parker again. Oh, my. Why not, though,
He
right?
deserved a heat check.
Yeah.
Fine. Oh, man.
And a steal and a foul. What a play from Larry Hughes, Jr.
Oh,
and a technical has been assessed now. And it's on Hughes. He makes the play. He got landed on. They did call the foul. Then he had some words, and they immediately teed him up.
He took issue with Bamisile. He took issue with Bamisile kind of diving onto him when he was trying to dive at the loose ball. And then he had something to say as soon as he got up. And Jeb Hartness had a comment about how it was all over it. We'll see what they rule it. Is it a dead ball technical? Was it a Class A technical foul? We'll see what the ruling is.
Yeah, it's after the play. So here's the foul on Bamisile, right? They got the foul. It's St. Louis ball. And then Hughes is talking. Yeah, Jeb Hartness is right there and said, nope, you can't do that.
Great hands, though. Great hands, great defense. Made his phenomenal play. Just get up and keep hooping.
We'll be back after this. Welcome back. Before we went to break, there's Larry Hughes Jr. Got landed on by Joe Bamisile for VCU as they called the foul on Bamisile, obviously his first. 17 foul for VCU, but then after the play, Larry Hughes Jr. had some words, profanity perhaps, taunting to Bamisile, and that's why he got teed up. So a technical foul there. It's a Class A technical foul. 2 shots for the other team and then the point of interruption. So 2 shots here for Shulga for VCU, and then we're going to go to St. Louis, and since it was the 7th team foul on VCU, St. Louis is going to have a 1-and-1. So Hughes will go to the line after Shulga shoots these 2 technical free throws. He makes them both to tie the game at 31. Now Larry Hughes will have a 1-and-1 for St. Louis, and that's that.
Yeah, that's that. You do want Hughes, if you're a St. Louis fan, to answer here because he made a great play. They have 7 turnovers they forced for 13 points. It's a team that's defensively had issues, but they've been good for the course of this game by and large. Partially, though, VCU is playing into their hands. They've not moved the ball well. VCU in league play is assisting on 60% of their field goals. There's been a lot of over-dribbling, a lot of forcing of bad positions. Got to share the ball, got to play off each other more.
Yeah, that's a good point, Down. 4 assists so far tonight on the 11 made baskets. The other side is actually St. Louis doing a good job. 6 assists for their 10 made baskets so far tonight.
It's a big miss by Hughes. You make a great play. Yeah. You should be going to the line. You gave away 2 points.
You're absolutely right. That's a big swing there. Correct. realistically should be a 4-point lead for St. Louis. But the other way, Bamisile, he returns and hits a 3, and VCU is leading by 3 now.
Nice job by Shulga. Come off the ball screen, made 2-play-1. They rolled down hard, occupying that weak side, and threw back to Bamisile as he filled and knocked down the triple.
We've had 7 ties. That's our 5th lead change of the night as Parker misses, rebound Lawal.
Remember that technical.
Right.
This could be, these are critical few minutes going into break where they could have been up now, and this has changed the momentum.
Jump ball, they tie him up. It stays with VCU.
This last possession down. See, Shulga comes off the ball screen, throws back, and you see Jimerson was trying to help on that roller a little bit, so he's stepping away, and then he tries to get back to Bamisile. Couldn't get there in time, and that's a good shooter.
Bairstow finds the cutter, Bamisile, and he scores it.
4 points off of inbounds play. Excuse me, 5, because it was an and 1 for Bell the one time. The simple cut, simple screening action.
Bamisile's got 13 points. It's a 7-0 run for VCU. Hargrove misses, rebound Shulga. Shulga drives, backs it off, gets it to Lawal, and he gets it back.
Get it to the other side of the floor.
Yeah, a lot on that right side. Bamisile for 3, got fouled. Medley picks up the foul. Bamisile's going to get 3 free throws. And, you know, to your point just a few moments ago, Dallin, you're absolutely right at how crucial this time period is. You and I did that first matchup back in January. It was a 3-point game closing in on the end of that first half. What happened? VCU took a 10-point lead into the locker room at halftime, and they never looked back. They blew it open.
Yeah, great minds think alike, I guess, because I was going right there. I go, like, this is eerily similar to the first game where it's back and forth. It's a battle. But now when you're playing at home and you go on that run, it's really hard to come back from. I will say this from St. Louis last week on the road at St. Joe's. Went down early, took those punches early, came back. Went down early in the second half, came back. They showed fight and showed toughness on the road. I don't think they're going away in this game, but this is a critical period where they need to settle down, get a good shot the other way, and come back and guard.
Sunday on ABC, #1 ranked South Carolina, the women in action, the nation's only unbeaten team hosting Georgia at 1 o'clock Eastern. College game day, they're going to be there. Tipping off our coverage at noon Eastern as the Gamecocks look to break the SEC consecutive wins record with their 43rd straight victory. We'll see if they can do it.
The women had their top 16 revealed by the NCAA committee on Thursday. The least surprising thing on the world was that South Carolina was #1 overall.
Absolutely. How about Caitlin Clark last night?
Good ball fake.
With the record.
Yeah, how about that?
49 points.
The record from 35 feet, too.
Yeah.
I like the call there to try to get Jimerson a shot and then back the other way. That's just a tough shot by Shulga. Good player, Jimerson, a step late with the close. And, man, this game has changed quick.
Just what we talked about. 13-0 run now for VCU. Hargrove going to work on the inside. Fighting with it. Count it. And the foul.
That's what you need from a guy that's played more games in the history of this program than anybody wearing the Billiken jersey now. And that's the type of toughness. They went to him in the post. He went right at Kwani. Again, this 5-out. He's playing a 5-man in this group. Went right at him. Would not be deterred. Huge offensive board. Gave a little life to the building and belief. Now he's got to make this, and they got to come down and get stops and be connected on the defensive end and rebound themselves. 8 second chance points for VCU in the first half.
Being out-rebounded 21-12 so far here in this first half. You're absolutely right about that. And to your point a second ago, 137th career game tonight, adding to the St. Louis record, which he set last week at LaSalle.
And
Pretty
the VCU's now gone actually to match this lineup with Hargrove at the 5. They're not playing their 5-man either. So we got a bunch of guards out here running around.
Couldn't cap off the 3-point play. St. Louis 6 of 8 at the free throw line.
They don't know what they're running too. Sometimes when you got different lineups, you got different guys in.
Bamisile, you know you got to get on him. Thames was defending. Rebound Parker. Behind the back, lost it, and it's picked up by George Churchic, the freshman from Serbia. He played 9 minutes in the last game in Philadelphia at St. Joe's. Here's Hargrove. Under a minute to go first half. Medley knocked out of his hands. Bellikins will have 10 to shoot. The cutter, Thames, blocked. And Bairstow's got it. Shulga for 3.
Don't need it. You may want a 2-for-1 there, but you don't need that.
That's what they're trying to do.
Transition.
Thames to the dunk. That's a big swing the other way for St. Louis now. The shot clock differential here, about 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, if you're VCU, taking it all the way down, you want to get one shot, maybe get an offensive board and go into break at the worst, up 7.
Offensive rebounds, they've had 7. St. Louis has had 2. 12 seconds to go, 10 to shoot. Shulga, guarded by Parker. Lost the handle, Churchich has the ball. 4 seconds to go for St. Louis. George Churchich puts it up, no. Parker tried the tip late, but the clock had expired.
That last possession kind of shows up again. VCU, when they were moving the ball, they're good money on offense. When they keep going one side of the floor with guys dribbling, it's not how they're built, and it's not helping them offensively. Got to get back to sharing that rock.
Rams lead it at the half, 42-35 here at St. Louis. Halftime report on the other side of this break. See some of the notes of the first half here. Parker leading the way for St. Louis with 15. Bamisile, the top scorer for VCU with 16 points. St. Louis this season 0-12 when an opponent shoots 44% or better from the field, and that's exactly what VCU was in the first half, 44%. They hit 5 3-pointers. St. Louis also hit 5 threes. You talked about the rebounding advantage for the Rams. That's a tough number there. And also second chance points and offensive rebounds in favor of VCU as well.
Yeah, and the situation with this game right now is that technical that Larry Hughes took in late in the first half really changed the tide of the game. They need to get this thing back on their terms and get some momentum back as you start this first 4 minutes. The critical first 4. And look how they're now full doubling Parker off the ball screen, making him get rid of the ball.
And Larry Hughes is the one that put up the 3. That's no good. And VCU back the other way here with Zeb Jackson. Yeah, the point you made about the technical is because St. Louis was up 2, and then they were going to shoot a 1-and-1. So instead of potentially going up 4, they gave up the 2 free throws to tie the game, and then they missed the front half of the 1-and-1. So you're right about that time period where it kind of shifted a little bit there. Hargrove, wow.
Christian Furman stepped out. His closeout was just off balance too much, and Hargrove's too good for that blow-by throwdown. Great start to the half for them on that play.
Travis Ford was out there on the court, kind of like diagramming what he wanted, and right back the other way is VCU, and a throwdown by Furman.
Great job curling that down screen a little bit by Bairstow. Both the big and the guard came with him. He was able to drop it off. Nice pocket pass. Again, top 5 in the league in assists, just under 5 a game in league play.
Jimerson off the screen for 3. It's no good. It got tapped around, and Ezeworo contains it, and he misses, but he's fouled by Jackson.
Big play by Ezeworo. Again, those type of momentum plays, they can get offensive boards and manufacture offense like that. That is huge. Not what they've done all year. That would be big. This is big, too. Hargrove, straight blow by. Nobody ready. That was really out of transition, so nobody there on help side. And good read by Bairstow as he came and curled that screen a little bit. 2 came to 1. Drop off.
Ezeworo, third leading scorer for this team, the leading rebounder coming in, 12.6 and 6.2. Previously played at LSU and Georgetown. From California, and he knocks these down here. 6 points for the night for him, all from the free throw line. He's only taken 1 shot, and he's 6 for 6 from the stripe.
Like Parker denying Bairstow there, not letting him reverse the ball and run the set they wanted to.
Jackson for 3, big one.
He's shooting it much better this year, just under 35% in league play, and he's started to really believe in that shot. And again, with his quickness, if you've got to close out on that, he is a tough cover.
That's his first points of the night down. He was 0 for 3 prior to that shot. Jimerson, yeah, he got hit by Bairstow.
And again, Jimerson's one of the best shooters in the country with a lightning fast release. He never wastes any motion. Right to his shot pocket, gets it up. Shooting 36% of the year, but he's a guy that when he gets good looks, he's the top of the scouting report. See, Bairstow, as soon as he got behind there and he was trailing too far, he was already pretty much dead in the water. You want to make a late contest and make a great shooter still make it versus bailing him out and put him on the free throw line, though, where he's 83% on the seat in the league play.
Jimerson's from Richmond, Virginia. His parents, Jason and Jennifer, both went to pharmacy school at VCU. And a lot of people in town when they were at VCU for that game were St. Christopher's High School, then went to Montverde Academy down in Florida. And now here at VCU. Closing in on the school record for threes, too, by the way, for Jimerson. Needed 10 to break it coming into today. And he's got one so far tonight. 5-point game. Oh, back the other way. Furman again. That's 2 dunks early in this second half.
Both off feeds from Bairstow. A step-up ball screen on that weak side, on that empty side. Again, 2 kind of came to play one. Great little pocket pass. The help side was there, a little step late.
Coach Odom likes what he sees here from this second half start. Parker. Rebound, Jimerson.
Great defense by Zeb Jackson, one-on-one with Parker. But now back, there's 2 possessions in this half where St. Louis has gotten offensive boards, helped them manufacture offense.
Kwani. Good fake, goes in on Hargrove, doesn't get it to go, and the rebound is plucked up by Ezeworo. And Kwani is called for the foul.
Nice job.
Oh, jump ball, excuse me.
Jump ball.
Yeah, excuse me, jump ball. It's going to be VCU possession. Wow, that was big.
You see this little step-up ball screen. Parker gets stuck. Ezeworo's got to come over, and now see that Hughes. Larry Hughes has got to be a step over there, farther in to pick up that roll by Furman, that slip by Furman, and now Ezeworo gets his 3rd foul by fouling a jump shooter.
Went right into him. And Shulga, who's outstanding at the free throw line this season, 87%. He's taken the most, he's made the most. 98 of 113 coming in for Max Shulga. Two for 2 tonight, so he's had 100 free throws this season.
Broadcaster, well done.
Broadcaster Jenks continues.
I didn't say anything before. I'm like,
right.
We know how this is going to end. I wish I could bet on that. I wish I could be like, let me throw some money on this happening right now. Actually, those listening can do it. If you can have no delay, you can hear the broadcaster do it.
Yeah, that's
you can fire away right away.
So 51-44 now. VCU, the lead is back to 7, which is what it was at halftime. Both teams 11 of 13 from the free throw line tonight. Parker inside Ezeworo, and he is fouled. Count the basket.
Parker getting so much attention, and I'll tell you what's huge. Parker's not exactly known for his assists. This is not what he typically does, but here, Zeb Jackson there, the big stayed in Furman, so Shulga stepped up, but that pass could still be delivered. And good, strong finish by Ezeworo going through Parker. But just think about this, Mike. Parker has 10 assists on the season. In 13 games played.
Yeah.
He got one right there.
Well,
but that's what they're going to make him do, is make decisions to help other guys score, not himself. That's the way to go.
You had talked about that to me coming in. That's crazy, that number.
They're going a little bit of zone here by St. Louis, but the miscommunication on the backside, that is killer. Parker didn't realize it. They're saying they're in a zone. He slid over as the man cut across the zone, leaving a guy shooting 60+% from the three-point line in A-10 play.
Yeah, you had said it with Kwani, and he knocks it down wide open. 7-point game once again. That could have been big to get a stop there. You had it down to 4 and get some momentum. Parker stripped from behind. Jackson, he's got Bairstow. Threw it by him. Shulga gets it, and he scores.
why you follow the play. But they're winning plays and losing plays. You don't know that it's a 2-3 zone, and now we're turning the ball over again. Oh, no, for St. Louis.
Jackson rejected Hargrove. And Quaddy is fouled. Coach Ford wanted a timeout, but the players have to call it on the court. The officials are saying, you got your players, they got to say it.
And there are little things, though. Again, we talk about the technical. You make a basket, great job. You come down the other side, you know you're in a 2-3 zone. Well, 4 guys do, not all 5. You leave a 60% shooter, back-to-back turnovers. The Rams rolling. Ooh, Bamisile, let him know.
Well, we get your weekend started here, though, the Friday nights in the Atlantic 10. Mike Corey, Dallin Cuff, 56-47 VCU. What do you got here?
Well, let me touch on Auburn real quick.
Okay.
Because I think that may be the hardest environment in college basketball to win in right now. The jungle is wild. It's intense. It's the brand of basketball they play. They can get you playing at a hectic pace. When they don't chuck threes and they try to play inside out, they are elite, as Shulga misses a 3. But Kentucky's getting 9.5 points, my friend. That's rare. I mean, people are going to be hammering that tomorrow, I imagine. That doesn't always mean it's good, though.
You're right. Sometimes it tells you something, but
yes,
you never know.
It does.
Yeah.
Don't follow the public. Nice finish, Zeb Jackson.
Jackson has 5 points, all in the second half. VCU is 6 for 9 from the field here in this second frame, and they lead by 11.
Medley's dealing with a shoulder injury. And he's going right down to the end of the bench right now, the young guard, and into the straight into the tunnel. So he was dealing with that this week. They had some sickness going through the St. Louis team, so they didn't have a midweek game, so they were excited about being able to prepare and really focus on stuff and go hard for a couple days, after a couple days off, and that all was messed up. Kind of a microcosm of the season. What they planned and what they thought has just been thrown off by injury and illness and issues. And Medley now not available, at least for right now.
Yeah, Coach Ford has said that as Jimerson misses as a whirl the rebound. He's going to the free throw line, that he was looking forward to that week, right? I mean, it was a 6-day, it's not off or a break, if you will, but they played Saturday, now here Friday. There's a couple of kind of buys, if you will, throughout the season. Yeah, 2 of them.
Where you don't play a midweek game.
Right.
This is the challenge as Ezeworo was presented. Remember, he had 2 fouls and didn't play the majority of the first half. He's gotten 2 offensive rebounds in this second stanza, misses the free throw. They have 3 as a team that have all led to points. When you're struggling to score and outside of Parker, not guys getting buckets, manufacturing offense is huge. His presence in this game is really big, so he's got to stay available and on the floor and out of further foul trouble as he's carrying 3 right now.
Lawal picked up the foul for VCU, his second, as Ezeworo is 8 of 9 from the free throw line in this game.
Here comes a little 1-3-1 zone. They've shown this in recent weeks, too. I like this changeup. Got to attack the elbows and the corners, and Nelson's a small guard. He's in trouble. Yep.
Good call down that worked out to perfection as it was intercepted by Hughes. Parker. Ezeworo. There you go.
Good job. They're making Parker make decisions, and he made the right one again. And Ezeworo made himself available and finished.
14.5 to go here in the second half. VCU by 8 and a foul in St. Louis. It's going to be on Thames. That'll be his 3rd.
Nelson has to get that ball off his head. Like, he's too small to put that thing over his head. You want to attack a zone. When you're on your heels, that's when they feast. He wants to be able to get into the gaps off the bounce, or if you can get a touch off the pass to either one of the elbows, then you can play through the corners, or if you can get it to the corner, play from there. But you got to attack when they're in that 1-3-1. They go back man now.
Well, it was a good changeup, and it forced him into a turnover. And then they convert on the other end. Now it's back to Nelson, trying to battle by Hughes. They call Hughes for the foul, so that's going to be Larry Hughes Jr.'s 3rd personal foul, 5th St. Louis team foul of this second half.
That's big. We're only 6 minutes in.
Yeah, I was going to say.
For both teams.
Right.
To get some offense.
Intercepted. Parker off to the races. Didn't time it right.
Good call with the George Gervin finger roll because he thought he was MJ. Took off from way too far out and then pulled it back. The 2 points are all that matter, though.
Parker has a game-high 17 points. He's 6 of 9 from the field. Lawal foul. Well, you just said it, Dallin. As a World, they need him out there, but he just picked up his 4th.
That's big. This was a great steal, good read by Parker. And then he's going to go highlight reel, but he wasn't going to make it. He was going to go spray commercial if he tried to dunk that. But, I mean, you're just getting in the groove. Ezaworo's having a big effect on the game. And now he's going to have to go out. And that was a good read off the slip and off the ball screen.
Yep. Steph Bamisile is going to check in for St. Louis. And 3 subs coming in for VCU. (59-52), VCU by 7 again. Jimerson for 3. Got it. (13 for Jimerson. He's hit 2 3-pointers. It's a 4-point game now. Bamisile off the screen. Hughes has it. Parker again.
Your 2 stars stepping up when you need it most. Jimerson lost his defender, gets the wide open triple. And then Parker, he's got free license to take the tough ones. Buries another contested shot, 11-1 run for the Bills. Back here in St. Louis, Chaifetz Arena starting to rock a little bit as they're currently on 11-1 run. And look how smooth Sincere Parker is. Crossover behind the legs. Drills a triple. He's got 20 points right now. 7 of 10 though, Mike. That's the difference. And he had 34 and 33 respectively in his previous 2 games, but shot 66% from the floor. He's being remarkably efficient with the level of difficulty of the shots.
Right.
Is mind-boggling. Like, at times, he's hit, out of his 7 made field goals today, 4 of them were incredibly difficult and incredibly well contested. At times you got to tip your cap. That man is a high-level scorer. Maybe the best one-on-one player in the conference.
Well, he's feeling it right now, and fueled from those 2 games this past week. 33 at LaSalle, 34 at St. Joe's. Tonight, 20. Bairstow to the hole, and a good job coming out of the timeout.
But that's where you want to take the next step, as Parker couldn't stay. He's just got to guard your yard. He could not stay in front of Bairstow. He's able to get by him and get up and finish. That's a big response.
Bairstow's got 9 points. St. Louis is not led since 3:34 remaining in the first half. Jimerson off the screen. He's had a pretty good night, too. Thames, good job to go back out. Parker inside Bamisile, wide open for 3 as Thames got it.
Really patient possession. Nobody took a bad one, and then Bamisile, good kick out. Thames wide open.
Well said. 61 all here tonight. Coming up on 12 minutes remaining in the contest. Shulga for the wall. You saw that coming.
Those empty side ball screens have been really productive for VCU. I'd like to see them keep getting to those. And when the wall, with that threat of 49.5-inch vertical, there's really no help that's going to be there. You're going to meet him like outside the lane to chuck his body. Stop that.
Yeah, 3rd dunk this half for VCU. They love doing that.
That's a mismatch with Nelson. That's a small guard. It's tough.
Parker shoots right over him. Doesn't go, though. Bamisile is going to be called for the foul over the back. Timeout. 2-point game in St. Louis tonight on this Friday night in the Atlantic 10. Talk about some of the all-time greats. We got one of them in the house here tonight for St. Louis. Yuri Collins. What a great player he was here, right? He's in the G League now with the Santa Cruz Warriors, G League team of the Golden State Warriors. He just became a starter, averaging about 6.5 points, 5.5 assists a ball game. How about the numbers from last year?
Yeah, 10 assists a game. As a team, they averaged 11.9. Like, that guy was able to see passes that nobody could see as you're watching the game. but he's in the game. It is remarkable to watch him as a player, and not going to lie, we did joke with Gibson Jimerson today. You miss playing with Yuri a little bit? You could say that. He loves his current team, but that dude gets you shots. Everybody, especially a shooter, loves playing with a point guard of his ilk.
Yeah, you said it. Last year he averaged 10.1 assists a game. The team this season is averaging 11.9 assists. So
yeah,
they certainly miss what he brought to this team and this organization, this city. Bairstow not there. Lawal the rebound. Bamisile's got it here for VCU. He puts up a three. He's hit him tonight. That's another money shot for Joe Bamisile.
That step-up ball screen with everybody with that side cleared out has been deadly. They tried to go to it to start the play. They guarded it well, and it came back out and ended up with Bamisile in his hands, and Bamisile just wasn't able to make the right communication. He steps up late. Big triple.
Parker. No. Bamisile the rebound. Tapped around. Parker again. Falling back, and he's fouled. So Sincere Parker to the free throw line.
I mean, rebounding has been a huge story in the second half for St. Louis. I mean, I feel like I'm a broken record here, but they've done a great job of crashing the glass, getting themselves extra rebounds against a team that gets 76% of the defensive rebounds in league play. That is number one. That is the best defensive rebounding percentage in the A-10 in league play. And it doesn't look like it right now because the Bills have done a great job in the second half.
They have. You got to go after it against these guys. Bamisile with his second personal foul. Parker in and out. You know, I was going to say, is Bamisile doing this again versus this St. Louis team? Remember the last meeting? 10 of 13 from the field, 7 of 10 from three-point range. He took over. He had 29 points. Tonight, he's got 19. 4 of 7 from three-point range, 6 of 9 for the game. Once again, number 22.
He's only played 14 minutes, too. The efficiency of his point per minute sometimes is pretty mind-boggling. Here's this guard lineup, if you say it again. Hargrove checks in. He's going to be the 5-man here, which can space them out, play 5 guys out. We'll see how Lawal reacts to that and how he guards on the perimeter, 10 in black.
Is there a Ken Pom number on efficiency, how much you score based on how much you play in the game?
Well, part of your efficiency is baked into that, like how you shoot it, how often you shoot it and use possessions. It's not necessarily tied to minutes played.
Got it. Okay, I was wondering about the minutes, yeah. Bamisile's fouled by Hargrove. It's only the first foul on Hargrove. It's a 1-and-1, though. That's a 17 foul.
It's big for a VCU team that shoots it so well from the free throw line. Best in the league, 78%. Joe Bamisile.
20 points.
Zeb Jackson, 2 in black, has checked back in now. I think he's the best athlete and has best lateral quickness and length to guard Sincere Parker and has been good at it. The challenge is VCU switches a lot of action 1 through 4. But so he's not always matched up, but he's the primary matchup right now.
Zeb Jackson, number 2 in the black and gold for VCU. Hargrove.
They're in their black coverage. They're going to switch everything. So Lawal is going to be guarding a lot of guards.
Tough one for Larry Hughes Jr. Ball's tapped around. Bamisile's got it. Gets by Hargrove. Looking for Lawal. Wow. Almost. And a foul on Zeb Jackson as St. Louis is coming up the court. I mean, both of us with our eyes were wide open. Possible number 1 on Sports Center later.
And
but
Lawal,
he missed it.
Yeah, he's shaking his head. He couldn't believe it. It's almost like he couldn't hold the ball. The ball was not clean in his hands, and he came to fire it down. We know how high he can get up. That's not the challenge. But those are swing plays, and great job to get out the other way. Zeb Jackson picks up his 4th foul. So you miss a lob dunk on one end. You get a 4th foul on a really key defender and player for this team. Zeb's one that created that play because their ball was being bounced around. He batted it out to Bamisile to create a transition opportunity. It's a huge miss.
And now Thames can cut it to a 4-point game. So Jackson's out with a 4 foul. Still 9:55 to go in this second half. And the local product Thames from right here out of St. Louis with 7 points. 4-point game. Credit the Billikens hanging right back in this thing here.
And see how Medley's checked back in. She had left with the shoulder injury, number 1 in white, back in the game.
VCU is led by as many as 11. The longest run that they've gone on in this game has been a 13-0 run. Billikens have withstood it. And a traveling violation on Bairstow. All right, what do you want here for the Billikens?
I want to see, I think they might try to put Lawal, if they're going to switch everything, which I think VCU is. If they can get a mismatch that's advantageous for them, maybe Lawal on Parker or something of that nature.
Medley with Thames, Jimerson, Hargrove, and Parker, the 5 in the court. Medley bounces it for a cutting Parker. No. Tapped around Thames, battling. Lawal's got it. And Thames is down. It's a 5-on-4. And he gets back on D. Shulga bumped by Hargrove. Some more free throws coming here. Second foul on Hargrove.
That's a tough foul. You're giving Shulga a really good free throw shooter, elite free throw shooter. You got to make these guys earn it, man. One of the best teams in the league coming into your building. You got to make them earn it on both ends.
Yeah, VCU is 82% the free throw line tonight, 14 of 17. I got some texts from some VCU fans saying, stop jinxing us at the free throw line. Hey, I'm just giving out the numbers here.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Not our first rodeo.
Under 9 to go, 6-point game. St. Louis has not had a field goal in the last 3.5 minutes.
And VCU's defense, again, is elite. They're known to put you in these situations where you can't score for a long time, and you got to make those ones that are wide open.
Parker thought he knocked it off of Shulga out of bounds, but it's VCU possession.
It was a great driving kick by Medley.
It was, yeah.
So you're really finding the right man, driving it hard. Hargrove just couldn't hit it.
Really good job to create. You're right. Draw that defensive attention. 3-pointers now for St. Louis. 8 of 21 from the 3-point line. 8 of 20 is VCU. Bairstow picks up his dribble. 8 to shoot. Shulga on the step back over Parker. Good defense and a foul. Or no, out of bounds. Thames is out.
Shot clock is at 1.
And Thames grabbed it, he was out of bounds, so you're right, 1 second to shoot for VCU.
It doesn't have to be a tip. You have a chance to still catch and shoot it.
Bairstow up top, Lawal. We play on here, St. Louis has it. Parker. Medley again trying to create down low. Got it to Hargrove. Count the basket and the foul.
That's what they're doing. Medley is ultra aggressive. He's gotten that switch now 3 different times with Toby Lawal because they're playing that 5 out. He's got a center. He's an absolute great athlete jumping, but his lateral quickness is not as good. Guarding a point guard, obviously, he's been able to get into the lane to make plays. Nice little drop off. And how about Hargrove carving out that space? Gets the and one. Big play by the Bills. Back in Chaifetz Arena where the Bills have cut it to 4, but Joe Bamisile, a big reason that the Rams are up right now. This guy has been instant offense off the bench all year since he's become eligible as a 2-time transfer in the middle of December. And you see the plethora to his game. He makes shots, he can play off the bounce. You never can leave the ball. A very good cutter, a very smart player. That, again, a local Virginia product that, you know, we've talked about this new staff and these guys and how they've developed these guys off throughout the course of the year and getting these different pieces together and gelling them. He fully understands his role with this team, and his been defined over the last 6 weeks, and they've won 8 of 9. He's a big reason for that.
Yeah, he turns it on. In the last 3 games, he had 23 points combined. Tonight, he's got 21. And just think of some of the greats from this VCU team over the years. And we had a nice talk earlier with one of the all-time greats for VCU, number 20, Bradford Burgess. Had an incredible career for the Rams. And he's over there on the sideline now from lane violation. They'll get another from this past May. Burgess came back to VCU, Director of Student Athlete Development. The Rams fans love him, and you know, you get such a community at that school. We talked about it before. You got to have the group to get that identity set for the past 2 decades where they've had 23 consecutive winning seasons. It'll be the 24th this year.
And talking to Bradford, he wanted to come back to the staff, and he was in the NBA on Billy Donovan's staff at 2 different stops in Chicago and OKC, but wanted to come home. He's from here, and Bamisile, as he tries to make the play, I said, didn't these guys know how good you were and how good that team meant? He's like, well, Joe knows, and I think Fats does. He was another freshman from the local product. But I was like, you wouldn't mind them. Your jersey's in the rafters, right? Like, he's like, yeah, they are aware of that. Like, this dude was a heck of a player on that Final Four team, and rightfully so. His jersey hangs up there, and as he said to us, you know, I'm here to kind of make sure they know what it is to be a Ram. I know what that's about and what that means, and that's important to carry on that tradition that's been established over the last 2 decades by multiple coaches, multiple staffs, of the expectation and level that VCU has been at, and for him to come back and communicate that and work with his guys and help make them improve is huge.
Agreed. 6 different coaches going back to Jeff Capel, right, to where we are now here with Ryan Odom, and the team continues to succeed.
Medley again with a mismatch, trying to take advantage. Good job, Hargrove, ducking in.
Hargrove fouled from behind by Kwani. 3rd on him.
So they had to adjust. Now the wall is out of the game. Christian Furman, they're not playing a 5-man either, the Rams, because of how Hargrove and that offense is functioning when they go 5 out, basically. And it's not true 5 out, because you see he can post up too.
Yes.
You can have, and Parker at times will try to go post up, but you have to respect his ability to step out and knock down a shot. He's really a guard or a wing player.
Hargrove has hit 33 3-pointers on the season at a 39% clip. So to your point, absolutely. He's now the 4th St. Louis player in double figures tonight. VCU has won 8 of their last 9 games. They're in 4th place in the Atlantic 10. Huge game here tonight to keep pace. 3-point lead. Michael Bell, who's back in. Thames, good straight-up defense. 3-pointer, Bairstow, look out.
He needs to shoot that. This young man 2 years ago at Utah State was a 40% three-point shooter. He's now in the low 20s right now. I think it's in his head. When he steps in a rhythm shot, when he's willing to shoot that, this offense functions even better.
Thames back the other way for St. Louis. Bamisile. No, Thames has it. Thames goes coast to coast. On the deck, they call a foul. It's going to be on St. Louis. Parker.
That's big, that's 3 on Parker, but that was almost another offensive rebound for the Billikens. Kwani's got to attack the ball. He went up very, very lackadaisically at that ball. You got to go attack the ball and rebound the thing.
Thames almost made it a 2-point game. Just rolled off, and I think that was the right call too, because Parker kind of, I mean, he wanted to go after that ball to tie it up, but he kind of landed on Bairstow. And you know, to your point about Bairstow, it's crazy. I was like typing out the numbers coming in, and you're right. He was 3 of 20 from 3-point range coming into this game.
But that's it's in his head. He can shoot the ball. And Brian Odom did talk to us about that today. We've shown him shots of him making shots at Utah State. And yeah, if he's coming off a screen and he's running and he's going 1-2 into it, they wanted to get him there this year. He wasn't there. Remember, he was hurt. Broke his foot and had surgery early in the season and missed a lot of the first part of the season. But that said, step-in threes. He's made those in his career. He's got a good stroke. You got to shoot that. And he's got to believe they're going in.
That's a tough foul. It's on Bell.
Talk about making guys earn it. You can't foul out there for no reason. That's a freshman making a little bit of a freshman play.
Well, hang on tight, everyone, because we're going to have some free throws down the stretch here. 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go, and both teams are in the double bonus.
We're not in a rush.
No.
A 4-hour drive to Indianapolis ahead of us or anything, you know.
Well, it's a big day tomorrow, and I know you got to get back to get ready for it from the studio in Bristol as college basketball Saturday on ESPN. Check this out. Duke, Florida State at 2, Kansas, Oklahoma, and then Kentucky at Auburn. We've been talking a lot about it. That's at 6 o'clock. That's a nightcap, part of a huge day tomorrow on ESPN. What about this Kansas-Oklahoma game? Thoughts there?
Yeah, Kansas can't win on the road. They've
right?
lost 4 straight on the road in league play, and now Kevin McCullough, we'll see if his status is okay when he's one of the best two-way players in the country. He's missed the last couple games. They got blasted at Kansas State. They lose again by Texas Tech. They get crushed on Monday. Now they're going out to Oklahoma, and Oklahoma is an underdog in that game, surprisingly enough.
Going to be a fun matchup. Bamisile for 3. Wow, from NBA range, Joe Bamisile does it again. He's got 26.
How many times today have they come off that screen and thrown back to Bamisile, replacing up? He's about 3 or 4 times. He's made 3 of them, but they've had good looks every time. The help cannot come from the guy that's guarding him. He's got to stay more attached to Bamisile.
Thames stepped out of bounds on the sideline.
He just let out like a primeval yell right there. I loved it. But there's the throwback, and Parker there, the closeout. I know they're worried about the wall rolling down to the hoop, but I think you've got to have the help come from the man that's in the corner. There's another Ram in the far corner. Have that guy step up and be the one that's going to be ready to bump a little bit earlier on the wall and make them throw that skip into the corner versus the easy replace to Bamisile and him to knock down a 3.
Yeah, I mean, if you're St. Louis, you can't let him do it to you again here. I mean, he had 29 in the first meeting. Jackson is fouled on his way to the hole, and Bamisile's got 26 here tonight.
And that's a good move by Zeb Jackson there, too. When he's a lefty, when he's getting going to his left hand, he is tough to stop to the hoop. Just a simple rip and go.
Medley is called for his 3rd personal foul for St. Louis. 80-72 here. And VCU can push it back up to double figures with these free throws. Jackson tonight 5 points. He's playing with those 4 personal fouls too. Medley's out, Larry Hughes is back in, and Thames is out, Hargrove's back in.
And I love this by Ryan Odom. He's already going a little offense-defense. Jackson for the offensive side of the ball, get him out because he's got 4. Sub in Bell waiting to come in. If he makes it, there you go.
All of Jackson's points, which are 7 total, have come in this second half. You're right, he's out and Bell's in.
Ezewaro checks back in as well. So his presence on the glass, and they can run things for him to get touches in the post, which may help, especially given the foul trouble.
Phenomenal free throw shooting by both teams. You saw the numbers. 88% for VCU, 80% for St. Louis. And they've both taken 25. Parker, count it, and 1.
I think it's really smart by Parker. He knows when he's coming off screens, they're doubling him aggressively. So Bamisile's got to force him into the screen. Bamisile does not do that. I think Gibson Jimerson confused things too because he was coming over like he was going to set one. He didn't. And then there was miscommunication and Bamisile not pushing him toward the screen that was already there. He's allowed to rip it and go right down the lane line.
Bamisile got caught behind him, and then he got bumped at the end there, Parker, and he converts on the 3-point play this time. So St. Louis trying to hang right in this game here, 82-75. Lawal sets the high ball screen for Bairstow. Travel, you got it.
And he's good in the pivot down there. He's effective that way, but he's overdone it a little bit today.
Doesn't agree. Coach Odom is wondering the same thing, but it's 14 turnovers for VCU now. Jimerson, Hargrove. Underneath, yes.
What a response by St. Louis. Down 10, back-to-back baskets, in and one to cut it in half. And we're going a little zone here. Well, 2-3. Want to try to get in that A10 off the bounce or the pass.
We'll keep an eye on the three-pointers here. Bamisile, instead it's Jackson who takes it in.
What a great body control. And I thought that back tap was going to disrupt him. He was able to get back under control and then finish with his weak hand.
All in the second half here. Parker off the screen. Floating runner, a wild one, and he got it to go.
Really, the play there is to curl it and throw the lob to Ezeworo?
I was thinking of that.
But he just said, that's not what I do.
Right. That was available, it seemed like. 27 for Parker. Still 3:44 to go.
They don't know if they're man in zone again. Now, Parker realized they are manned up, but he goes the other side now.
Bairstow. It's off the mark, and it goes out of bounds to VCU. Hang on tight. 3:32 remaining on this Friday night from St. Louis. 5-point game. The Atlantic 10 rated 8th best conference in the country out of 32 conferences according to Ken Palm. And then here's your net rankings right now with Dayton leading the way at 19.
It was funny, we had Joe Lenardi on last week, and he said that right now Dayton seems like a one-bid league if Dayton wins the A10 tournament. But he says the conference ranked in that place has never only sent just one team.
Right.
And I agree with that. I mean, VCU is currently constituted as a tournament team. Richmond, if they continue to play, now losing to UMass has not helped this past week on their own floor. UMass is bad, don't get me wrong. Look where they are, 7-5.
Right.
But in terms of your net ranking and what you're trying to build in terms of an at-large resume, Loyola Chicago and what Coach Valentine have done is remarkable. We'll be there in 2 weeks. Can't wait to see them in the battle they're going to put forth, I believe, against Dayton in that game. Should be physical. Brock fight comes to mind. But you've got to win. If you're VCU, you're trying to build an at-large resume. It's not easy to win away from home, but you got to win this game against St. Louis. And now a foul away from the ball allows you to get a couple free throw attempts up. But this is why it's so important. Like, if you don't win that tournament, you want to get in by your at-large resume. VCU is a tournament team when you watch them. Full stop.
Correct.
Bear in mind, it's a totally different team in November, December. So how does the committee evaluate them? You want to take some doubt out of their mind. A Q3 loss, like this would be, a quad 3 loss, as we explained the quad system earlier, does not help them. So this is a huge game for them on multiple fronts.
Parker picks up his 4th personal foul. Bamisile with 1 more.
Now, the Rams need to know that. Look to drive Sincere Parker, because if he goes out of the game offensively, they're different. He's not leaving the game right now. You see 21 and white on the floor, as he should be in crunch time here.
He's got 27 points, 9 of 15 from the field. He's had 4 3-pointers. Here he is. He's got it.
I like this. Oh, good.
But he was held. Yeah.
That was the right look. Little two-man action on that side. Ezeworo duck in well, and the wall was kind of on the wrong side, on the right side of the low side. So the angle was there, the hand was there, and he had to hold him.
That's like the football uncatchable. Yeah, because he was held. You know, so that's like the holding. 85-79 here. It's a 6-point lead for VCU. We got 3:17 to go.
Again, offense, defense for both teams here. Parker's got 4 fouls. Take him off the floor. Zeb Jackson has 4. Bring him back on for offense for the Rams. Both coaches working in the chess match here.
You like what St. Louis is doing, though. They're getting the ball to the hole. 5 of the last 6 they've made from the field and 4 layups. So their intentions there to try to get it inside, which has been good.
They're going into that zone now. You want to try to get it to the A10 off the bounce or the pass and play through the middle.
Bamisile. Tough shot. Rebound Ezeworo.
Got to make the zone work, but they didn't. Joe's a great player, but that kind of bails him out. And Doug Sermons is saying they took a timeout. Travis Ford doesn't look like he wanted to take a timeout. So they are going to give it to them.
We will be back. 5-point game, under 3 to go. The Atlantic 10 Friday night showcase continues from Chaifetz Arena in St. Louis. It's a 5-point game. St. Louis possession with 2:55 to go. What do you think's going on over there?
Well, now the timeout did allow them the opportunity to put Sincere Parker back in the game. I like that last opportunity when you have him and Aguero coming off a little two-man action. Because he's had success posting up and he can be effective down there. But obviously, and Parker draws so much attention. He's in the far corner now, but he does the best matchup. Zeb Jackson is playing now with 4 fouls. And Zeb has been the most successful defender against him one-on-one. He didn't switch that either.
Parker. Jackson knocked it away. Parker retains it here. Throws it in as a whirl. Kicks it. Hargrove on the take. No. Oh, good rebound by Lawal.
It's a good possession, though. They came off the ball screen. They blitzed it. Both played. Short roll by Aguero. He made the right read. You executed the way you wanted to. Hargrove just didn't make the shot. They're in the zone now. You've got to make the zone work, though.
Shulga, step back 3. That is huge. What do you do about that?
Nothing. Forget making the zone work. Let me shoot a step back 3. Max Shulga, big play.
16 points. Make it 19 on 3 of 7 from three-point range. Hargrove working on Jackson. There you go.
It's almost smart. Zeb gets switched on to him, and it's a mismatch. You on your 4th foul. Right now, he's more valuable in the game than committing a foul there.
This is the most points that VCU has scored in a game this season. Their previous high was 87. Minute 35 to go. Jackson gets it over to Shulga. Is he thinking the same thing? No, he takes it in. Kicks it back out. Bairstow. Lost the handle. On the deck. Lawal's got it. Did he call timeout? He did. And he saves the possession for VCU with 5 to shoot.
It's a huge play. Yeah, it's a huge play for Lawal to get on the ground and keep the. First of all, they wasted 25 seconds. That's the most important part of this possession to this point. But to maintain possession and to get a shot at the rim or maybe get a chance to get fouled, and Lawal extending that possession was really critical.
Talked about a big day on Saturday on the men's side. How about Sunday for women's college basketball? Number 1 ranked South Carolina. Game day there to get it started. Live from Columbia. Noon Eastern. Georgia and South Carolina on ABC.
Yeah, look, Clemson. That should be Clemson. My fault. That is sacrilege to say Clemson. Been talking South Carolina. I apologize to everybody that's watching from that state right now. For South Carolina, they're looking to have the greatest streak in the history of the SEC in terms of wins straight. Looking for 43 to break Tennessee's record, which they've done twice at 42. So Don Staley's team looking to make a little history on Sunday.
Yep.
And one of the least surprising things ever is they were the number 1 team by the NCAA selection committee, releasing their top 16 on Thursday. The men's top 16 comes out tomorrow at 12:30. I assume Purdue will be the number 1 team in that, given their record and their number of quad 1 wins. Although I do believe UConn is the best team in college basketball. Who play Marquette tomorrow. Top 5 clash. Can't wait for that.
That should be a good one as well. You're absolutely right. Here's Zeb Jackson. 5 to shoot. All the way up top to Bamisile up by half court. Thames is on him. He shoots it up. No. Jackson had a box out there of Hughes, and that helped VCU retain possession.
With 20 on the shot clock, they're going to play it down. St. Louis is. You're not going to foul right now, but you got to get a stop and a rebound. And then Jackson with a huge hustle play.
Shulga, that could do it if he hits it, and he does. 59 seconds to go, and VCU pumps the lead up to 9. And Shulga has done it here over the last minute.
There are plays we've talked about today, winning plays, and sometimes St. Louis made some losing plays. This is a winning play to get this offensive rebound. We'll show you Shulga first. They switched it. He stepped back. He's just making tough shots. And look at the bench reaction is phenomenal by Jason Nelson. And it's a good late contest by Thames, but they shouldn't be in that situation. That long rebound was absolutely huge. 19 second chance points for a team that doesn't typically get on the offensive boards. And as an elite defensive team, you put yourself in a bigger hole.
And the 19 second chance points, you say 14 offensive rebounds. They've out-rebounded St. Louis in this game 38 to 23. Here's your reset. Each team with 1 timeout remaining. Possession arrow favors St. Louis if we get a jump, but it's going to be tough now here for the Billikens. 59.3 to go.
And just take like sometimes they're weird plays and weird rebounds, but like Zeb Jackson created a lob attempt earlier in the game by getting a rebound. This is a great contest at the end of the shot clock. and it looked like it was Larry Hughes second trying to box out. At times you got to go pursue the ball, but Jackson again doesn't try to grab it, just bats it to a teammate. It's just a really heady play, and they made a lot of the winning plays in this game in crunch time to not only win to look like they're going to win the game, but to continue to expand the lead and not allow St. Louis to get this into a one-possession game under 2 minutes. Now here they're probably going to be in their black coverage, I imagine, switching everything. You don't want to allow threes, but you don't allow any easy layup. But if they're going to go take a 2, you do not foul them.
All right, so here's Parker. There's a team-high 27 points in this game here for St. Louis.
And they are switching everything. The wall against Parker. Good help. Ooh.
Bamisile got him.
But you see Lawal saying to him, I got him. I was there. You didn't need to do that.
He was right there. Yep.
But sometimes you have a habit of doing that as a guard or a wing player when you know you're going, as they call it, black or whatever you're going to call it, when they're switching everything. And you've got your 5-man on Sincere Parker, the best player that you might help a little bit. But he said, I got him. I'm there.
Yeah, Bamisile just tapped his chest against him. My bad. So, but not a lot of bad that he's done in this game with 27 points. Number 22 in black for VCU. And the black and gold right now with a 9-point lead. And the free throws, I mean, both teams have been awesome, but that's a big miss. Parker
allows them to set up their press, though. Making the second one's important, but yeah, obviously missing the first is huge.
28 for Parker. 45 seconds to go. Bairstow.
The 2-2-1 full court press. You got to get in the middle. Good job by Bairstow of doing that.
Yeah, clock becoming a factor now. Shulga will go to the free throw line. Larry Hughes Jr. with a foul. Big thanks to our crew here tonight. Alongside Dalakoff, I'm Mike Corey. Stats with Mike Rudolphi. Terry Black, great job, guys. Thank you. Our producer, Robert Ringer. Our director, Tyler Honeycutt. Our TD, Chris Chavez. Patricia Ennis, Whit Evans. Audio with Richard Birdsong. And Franklin Anderson, along with Mike Coons. Thanks, everybody. Tons of great people working on this one here tonight. Appreciate it on this Friday night. Getting the weekend started. And VCU looking to hang on here to win 9 of their last 10. Turning things on at just the right time. Parker connects. He's got 30. The first St. Louis player ever with 3 straight 30-plus point games. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough here tonight with 23.3 remaining and down 8.
It's not, and I think, again, this team, they continue to fight, though, man. That St. Joe's game last week, down, and they continued to battle. They were up late, but it was defensively they had issues. And in those last 2 minutes, they gave up 5 drives to the basket or wide open slips on miscommunications or layups and ones down the stretch. Look at the numbers this young man is putting up right now. But they've got to complement it with some defense on the other side to get the team to get the wins that they want and need here for St. Louis. But they gave VCU all they could handle.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they got 85 points tonight, right? Yeah. I mean, typically you'd hope to think that would be enough to get a victory.
They're bottom 60 in the nation in defensive efficiency, and you've seen why in parts today. But they have some talented players on the offensive end, that's for sure.
It's a season high in points for VCU. They got 95.
We saw them last week. They won with 49. They win in some different ways,
right.
Baby.
Yes.
Held Dayton to 47, won that game in an absolute bloodbath that we saw from next to the court.
Right. 49-47 last Friday night. And now 95 here tonight. Hughes for 3, no. Rebound, Lawal. VCU, that's going to do it. They come here to St. Louis. They sweep the season series. They win it by 10. And they improve to 17-8, 9-3 in the Atlantic 10 with a 10-point win here tonight.
Just another impressive performance by a team in a game they had to have. They got it done.